Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, yesterday, some sparring leaked between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. Now, we've heard about this sparring for several years. Both camps have talked about the sparring, mostly coming from the Devin Haney camp. And most recently, we heard Devin Haney talking about the sparring in the press conference with Ryan Garcia. So he talked about whether or not Ryan Garcia had actually seen the sparring. And he was basically trying to call Ryan Garcia out if he hadn't seen the part where supposedly Devin Haney got the better of Gervonta Davis. And as I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, I seem to remember Devin Haney basically saying that he knocked Gervonta Davis out towards the end. I'm not saying that he didn't get the better of the sparring towards the end, but based off of what I remember, the explanation was Tank hadn't been in the ring for quite some time, and he started to get tired after. I don't know what's going on between these two dudes, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if it was one session, two sessions. I don't know. We've heard different stories, but there is some footage that has been leaked in regards to the sparring, and we do want to share it with the broader audience here and then come back and react to it. So, Jay, let's go ahead and switch over to that very quickly so people can see what has been recently leaked. All right, so got it up here, and let's go ahead and kick off the play. So. All right, Jay, so that was it. That was the end of the sparring there. And pretty interesting stuff. Now, as you can see there, clearly Gervonta Davis was getting the better of Devin Haney, had Devin Haney on the back foot the entire clip, throwing shots, connecting quite regularly against Devin Haney. Devin didn't seem to know what to do with Tank. He didn't seem to know what to do with the aggression. He seemed to be having issues. And, you know, listen, I've always been under the mindset, Jay, that sparring really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you're in sparring trying to work on something specific, and we don't really know the timing of the sparring. We don't know who's in training camp, who's not in training camp. So all those things can possibly matter. But when you look at the reaction of everybody on the sideline, it would suggest that these two gentlemen were actually trying to take each other's head off. And this wasn't a situation where they were actually working on anything particularly. They were actually trying to win this particular session. Now, when you think about the comments from Devin Haney and the fact that he mentioned that he believed that, he knocked Gervonta Davis out or had him out on his feet or whatever it was that he said that he did, it's hard for me to believe that, Jay, just considering we know that Devin Haney doesn't have a lot of power. And when you're sparring, you have on headgear and large gloves. So saying that you stunned somebody like Gervonta Davis, who we haven't really seen hurt in the ring at the moment, with a guy that's not considered a power puncher, I mean, the opposite would be more likely. Gervonta Davis hurting him, considering he's the one with the pop. So I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I think these two gentlemen are going to need to get into the ring to really prove who wins a fight, because the bright lights can play a part in how you perform. So all of those things matter. So, Jay, I want to pass it to you quickly. What's your thoughts on this leak sparring between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney?
Yeah, well, first off, the thing I think about is why the hell is Ryan leaking it?
Ryan didn't leak it. Was it Ryan? I didn't think Ryan was the one that
He
leaked
did.
it. Oh,
Ryan
okay.
leaked it.
Okay.
He leaked it. He kept bringing it up. I'm like, it makes no sense for him to bring it up. Y'all both got beat up by the same dude, so it doesn't matter. But it brings eyeballs. I guess they're using Tank's name to help promote this show, so it is what it is. But I mean, they said like Devin was like 16. To your point, it's sparring. Shit happens in sparring. I mean, hell, Spence got off on Florida in sparring.
Yep.
Does that mean Spence was the best fighter ever?
So did Lamont Peterson. So did Paul Spadafora.
Yeah. So I mean, what does that even mean? I mean, granted, you don't ever want to look bad in sparring. Don't get me wrong, but if you're just working on certain things and you haven't been working on keep that left hand up and you just keep getting caught because you keep your left hand down, you're gonna learn from that. You'll be better in the next sparring match, and whatnot. Plus, this was so many years ago. Both fighters have improved. We can't say both fighters have improved because they have improved. Now, to your point about Devin saying that he had Tank out, I truly doubt that, because we know Devin is not the hardest puncher, and they had headgear and they had on 16-ounce gloves as well. So I mean, the likelihood of that happening is very low. Not saying it's impossible, but it's very low. It's more of a thought mindset that Tank would have him out. In a way, that video leaked what it showed, whether it was all spliced together or not. It showed Tank was getting off on Devin in that sparring session. He was handling Devin pretty easily, and he's the older fighter. He's a stronger fighter at that time, and Devin didn't have much experience as well. So it is what it is. I mean, that's neither here nor there for me. Honestly, it doesn't make me look at Devin any different right now because of what he's accomplished. It doesn't make me look at Tank as any different because Tank is who I thought he was. Tank's always been a beast with some power in there. So it just makes the future matchup between Devin and Tank more intriguing. Honestly, I just don't like the fact that it's being used to promote a different fight. It's one thing if Tank side leaked this to promote their fight with Devin going on, but these two guys are fighting. Ryan and Devin are fighting each other, not Tank and Dev. Tank already ran through Ryan. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to think about for that side as far as like for them, but they're doing to promote. They're using Tank's name to promote their fight. So it's just funny to me. But I do want to see just with shits and giggles the full sparring, because Devin seems saying that, hey, show the full video where we got off on Tank and we bet and we won the money because Devin beat Tank at the end. So I mean, to be fair, we should see the whole thing, and seeing everyone else comment is just funny to me.
Yeah, it is interesting. I would love to see the full length of the sparring as well, considering that people continue to bring it up. I don't think there's a reason to really bring it up, but I mean, in my personal opinion, from my perspective, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seems to come more so from Devin's side versus Tank's side, and
Definitely.
so it's an interesting situation that's currently going on there. But certainly, and I think you brought up a good point, they are using Tank name to help sell this fight. Hey, I mean, it's good promotion. They're going to do what they're going to do. It is what it is. Tank really doesn't have anything to do with this fight. Don't really know why you need to bring up his name. I think this fight has enough seasoning and spice to sell itself with the two combatants that we currently have in the ring. So we'll see what ends up happening in that regards. But you guys tell us what you think in the comments section. The leaked footage of Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney going at it. Looks like Tank was getting the better of it.
I'm a Tank fan.
It is what it is. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are out.